Well,
Yeah, if you see me in the campgrounds going,
that's a common occurrence.
come on over.
Along these roads we roam, we find adventure through traveling, camping, boondocking, and exploring.
Hello, and welcome to the Roads We Roam vlogcast number 7.
Lucky number 7.
My name is Russ,
I'm Carrie.
and we are full-time RVers traveling the United States and Canada in our Little Guy Max camper trailer.
Today we are reporting to you once again from Hartsville, Tennessee. We're going to be here through Thanksgiving. And let's see, nice 41 degree temperatures for today.
Yeah, that's very
We woke
nice.
up, it was 38. It was pretty nice. So the weather's not going to get much warmer today, but it didn't get really cold last night.
Got some rain right now, as you can see through the window here.
It's supposed to be turning to snow, so we'll see.
Ooh,
Keep you
snow.
tuned. I know.
Little Guy Max in the snow. Russ and Carrie in the snow. We haven't been in the snow for a long time.
Who's that LGM owner in Wisconsin, Randy?
Randy's Adventures.
Randy, any tips on the snow?
Yeah, let us know.
Send
I
our
was
way.
a poet, and I didn't even know it. God, that's horrible.
That's really
Anyways,
bad.
okay, so moving on. What did we do?
We, or rather you, while I was working on the computer, you leveled the trailer.
Yeah, when we parked the trailer, it looked good. We still don't have a viable level. We have an app, but we just don't trust that app right now, so we've kind of been eyeballing it. I have to go to Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever and get an actual level. Old school level, bubble in the water, and I can work that.
Well, I did a great job. So the side to side, we did have to
Oh,
level
yeah.
one side.
That's perfect.
Spot on. But we were tilted down a bit.
Just a tad.
We did my little MacGyver trick, and I took a little round thing and put it at the center.
Yeah, it was
and
it was like a spice,
Jar.
a cylinder spice jar.
Like, yep,
So you
we're good
set
now.
it down there. So that's really old school levels. I think you probably read about that in the Farmer's Almanac or something,
I
huh?
love that book. I really do. That's like the one thing when it comes out in the grocery store, I've got to get. But
So yeah, we had to level out a little bit. You know, it wasn't too bad. It was only maybe about 2 inches, but
makes a big difference.
it does. You can feel it. And so I had to move the truck in front, get the trailer back on the hitch so I could support the weight of the trailer, and pull the front stabilizers up, and then just jack it up to about where we needed it, and put it back down, drop the stabilizers, and all was well. So definitely a high point. Trailer is stable.
Well, and then another thing, rather than trying to camp out in a McDonald's or a Starbucks for hours on end to upload videos, made an offer to my sister, said, hey, while you're at work, let me crash in your house for a bit for the free Wi-Fi and I'll make you dinner. And she was like, done. Deal.
Yeah. She, to be fair, she had already said, hey, you guys can come over, use our Wi-Fi whenever you like. Everybody's at work and school, and so Carrie decided, well, maybe I'll just make her dinner. You know, I think maybe, I don't know if you felt a little bit of guilt camping out or not, but they were very thankful. They love your burritos. I love your burritos.
Thank you.
So delicious. And
as much as I love the kitchen in my Little Guy Max, my sister has a very large, amazing kitchen. Anybody would love to cook in her kitchen.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a chef's kitchen. With
it's huge. It had like 2 ovens.
Yes.
Yeah.
The 2 ovens, the drawer microwave. I love your kitchen. but anyway, so that's what we did. And, you know, for people that are on the road full time, a little change of scenery, even when it comes to the cooking, is great. But offering to trade services and things like that as a way of thank you, or just to kind of help both of you out, whether it's cooking or fixing a car,
Yeah,
or
I mean,
doing services like
yeah,
that.
it's just a little quid pro quo.
Quid pro quo.
Oh yeah, I'm
That
having
was
a
easy
hard
for
time
me to
talking.
say, not for you.
I know. This for that. Let's just call it.
There we go.
There we go.
The
There
this
we are.
for that.
Okay.
If anybody else has bartered things, maybe even with just non-relatives on the road, please share them below. That way it could give other people ideas of how to think creatively while they're out on the road.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like Alaskan bush people. You see them bartering. But really, to bring it into another experience that we've had for bartering, Kevin, that we met in Bottomless Lakes.
That's right.
He did the Roads We Roam website on the back of our little guy trailer. He makes signs.
The logo stickers. Yeah.
Exactly. And a thing that he does that I just found amazing, they're retired. They go into a town. They'll stay for a couple weeks or a month at a time. And he'll go to a restaurant and he'll say, oh, their door could use a little bit of signage, or their windows could use some signage. And he goes to him and he says, hey, how'd you like me to design you a sign? We can put your logo. We can put whatever you want up there. And sometimes they're like, we're good. And he says, well, I'll do it for free. And they perk up and they're like, well, you do it for free? And he says, yeah. The only thing I ask is that when my wife and I come in, we get to eat for free. I just thought that was fantastic. And he says he hasn't had anybody who had a legitimate need for the sign turn them down yet. So just a great way to try, even to save a little bit of money or extend your money is bartering. So yeah, let us know if anybody's had another experience on that.
All right, so today we decided to have the topic of the day, picking the right RV.
And our experiences through that.
Yes.
I'd grab yourself a Snickers bar and a drink. Boy, this took us a long time to figure out.
We will not go that long for it. I will keep you on track.
So yeah, we finally decided we wanted to go full time. And we decided we need the right RV for us. I think in the beginning we were kind of leaning towards a Class B. It looked very appealing to us. But as soon as we got inside one, with our 2 dogs and us, we realized, no, this doesn't work.
Too small.
Yeah.
It was definitely too small. I think the first place that we went was an RV show.
Yes.
We were in El Paso.
Yep.
And just the timing, we had just started talking about it, and I noticed that there was an RV show at the convention center downtown, and said, let's go check it out. And, man, is it overwhelming.
Well, there's so much to choose from. Yeah. And really, at that point, if you're new like we were, if you've never owned an RV before, you don't even know what questions to ask.
Right.
You don't know what your lifestyle is in an RV. So it's just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. You know, I think we moved up to a Class A. In our minds, we moved up to a Class A, and then a Class C, and then some travel trailers, and then through the gamut, 3, 4, 5, 6 times back and forth. I think we had made our mind up. This is it. To include an old GMC Class A.
I am in love with the old GMC.
They're beautiful.
With the mid-70s, I guess.
Yeah.
That they had them. We did find somebody in the El Paso area that was selling an older one, but it just required so much more work than we were able to take on at the time to renovate.
And beyond work, he was a very mechanically inclined person. So he made all kinds of custom modifications to not only the interior and stuff, but to the engine, to the mechanics, to the electronics. And he showed us
they all worked, but then for us, if we're out on the road and we are not familiar with that, we couldn't pick up a manual to fix something because he had modified it a certain way. So it just wasn't a good fit for us.
And I'll guarantee you, I don't think anybody, even one of the better mechanics out there, would be able to just jump in and do it. They would have to trace and say, oh, okay, this is what he did. Yeah, because there were a lot. I mean, very smart guy, but there was almost too much.
So we looked at Craigslist.
Yep.
We looked online. I even downloaded the RV Trader app, and daily I was just scrolling through. And then we went to, we were lucky enough to have 2 RV dealerships fairly close by. And we spent weekend upon weekends there.
Oh, yeah.
That was just our thing. We kind of made a game out of it where we would do the walking app or the pedometer to see how many steps we took that day. So if you want to exercise, go RV shopping.
And you know what's funny is, you remember this? we were moving so fast through these things that we didn't want to have to take notes. So we'd take pictures of the model numbers, and we'd put like if it was just one that we were interested in. Oh, sorry, Brett. Twice for Kiana, once for Brett now. If it was one that we thought was doable, we'd take a picture of the model number. If it was one we said, "Oh man, this is awesome," we'd put a thumbs
Yeah, if
up
it had
next
like
to
a
it.
26 RBS, Russ would be next to that model number with his thumbs up or whatnot. After a while, we started to step away from all the glitz and glamour and all the add-ons and say, what can fit our lifestyle and our budget the best? We did not have an unlimited budget to work with, and what we had, and we knew we wanted to buy an RV before we made the clean break. So that meant we had to have something that didn't require us to get rid of our truck. Because if we did move to an A or a C, we would have had to get rid of our truck, and we were a one-vehicle family. So that kind of helped us in the decision process. All right, we want to get it early. We're going to have to do a tow behind.
Yeah. And we really started to hone in every weekend. I mean, when I say we went several weekends, we went 4 or 5 weekends to 3 or 4 different RV lots, from the huge, Camping Americas or Camper Worlds or whatever they are, to the mom and pop shops, and we really started to hone in. And I think that's the key. Do not rush this. Take your time. Take 5 weeks minimum. Take 6 weeks. Take as long as it needs, and go find what's going to work for you. It's a very personal purchase. You have to figure out what works for you. Don't listen to these dealers because they're just trying to make a quick sale. Go find what works for you. And that's what we did. I think ultimately the reason we chose this was because it was a little higher than what we wanted, but what made up for that was it's very light and bright inside here. It wasn't overwhelming to get into, for backing and everything like that. So this was what was right for us.
It could fit everything that we wanted to take with us. Yeah. Some people may not be able to downsize as much as we did. So that's something to take in. But the other thing, it's funny, when we found the Little Guy Max, I walked into it and I immediately felt comfortable. And
this was one of the first travel trailers we walked into.
Yes, and I remember sitting in it, and then our salesman, Brent, came in and he said, well, let me just walk you through so you truly know what your options are and things that you might want to consider, which I found very helpful.
Next thing you know, we want that 46-foot fifth wheel. No. He did take us into stuff like that.
He did, and great Class A, and we thought seriously about a couple of the other options.
Yeah.
And when we called him with our final decision, I said, no, we're going to go back to what you first found us in. We were literally sitting right like this when he stepped in and introduced himself to us.
And I think that kind of goes to another part here. You've got these guys that are walking in, these salesmen. If you don't jive with them or you don't feel like they're listening, I think you can't be afraid to say, let me talk to somebody else. I want to talk to somebody else.
It's a big investment.
It is.
Big purchase. Whether you're going full-time or just for a weekending, you do need to speak up.
And you want somebody who not only is knowledgeable, but you want somebody who will listen to you and who has patience. That's one thing Brent had. He had a lot of patience for us,
Just like the RV fit best for us, Brent was the salesperson for us. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we had found a lower price for our unit in a place in Arizona.
Tom's Camper World.
And, they gave a fantastic price. And Russ just said, well, let me see. I really want... Brent got us to this point. Let me see what he can do. And they came incredibly close. They couldn't beat Tom's Camperland. But once we factored in the cost for us to travel to Arizona and to get it and to come back.
Yeah, and our time.
It was pretty close. Yeah. And then we got to go with someone that we trusted and someone that we could continue to.
And another thing we learned too, and a thing that you have to keep in mind is when you're purchasing, your where you purchased from is going to work with you service-wise a lot better than somebody off the road who, if you take it to let's say you live in Michigan, you bought it in Arizona, and you need a service work done on it, you're going to have to go to somebody you didn't purchase it from and get in there, and they're going to put all their customers ahead of you. So just keep that in mind. Try to purchase nearby in case you do have some service issues. It didn't work out well for us. We had a bad experience with the service department. I don't want to touch on that.
No.
But
the other thing too is what I found out, don't let the sticker price scare you.
Very much so. Yeah, there's a lot of wiggle room.
There is a lot of wiggle room. That was very surprising to me at first. So do your research, talk with other people maybe. The online forums are fantastic, so you can kind of get a rough idea of what other people paid. So definitely do not be afraid to negotiate, because there's a lot of wiggle room. We could talk about this forever. And I'm sure we didn't talk about everything. So if you do have some questions, you do have some concerns, you're in that purchasing process right now or in the future, shoot us a message. And ask us specifically what that is, and we'll weigh in on our experience with it. We may have some valuable information. We may not have gone through that, but at the very least, you'll be talking to another person that went through it. Now on to Russ's favorite viewer engagement section.
I just love viewer engagement.
Nitwich4 asked, have you done anything with the water with the temp so low at night? Love your videos.
Nitwich4, thank you very much. Nitwich4 is off of Instagram, but she does come over to our YouTube videos as well. We made sure there was no water in the tanks. We dumped the gray tank and the black tanks. We got rid of most of the water in the lines, but there's still water in the lines. I mean, Carrie just turned the faucet on and we had water. We didn't go as far as draining the outside shower and all, but to be honest, it's dropped down to 25 at night, and we haven't had any issues. There's been no freezing up. I think a little bit of that has to do with we keep it warm during the day. When we're in here, we set the thermostat anywhere between 68 and 72, depending on how chilled we feel.
I'm always cold.
Yeah, and then also, the days haven't been constantly under freezing. It may drop down to 25 at night, but in the day it'll come up to 37, or it'll come up to 40.
There hasn't been a hard freeze to really put them under a strain.
I would, if you're going to be in some really deep, cold type weather, I would probably go those extra steps. I would drain everything. I might even put the antifreeze, that pink stuff, in the lines.
I seriously looked into, they do sell these kits that where it keeps your water lines.
Yeah, it kind of wraps around
It wraps around the line, so that might be an option as well. I had just touched the surface of researching, so if there are people out there that do camp in cold weather with a unit that is not built for 4-season camping, please send us, so that way we can share that information with other people and as well help prepare us, because I'm sure we'll probably get caught at some point in that thing, and I would like to be prepared.
Definitely. Yeah, that would be greatly appreciated.
All right, so next, Barb Root responded via YouTube, and this was to an earlier question that we had asked about whether or not we should take the recordings from these vlogs and turn them into a podcast. Guess what she said?
No.
She said yes, podcast would be a great option. So we are going to move forward with that.
Yeah.
And probably by the beginning of next week, the latest, you'll be able to also find us available on podcast, and we will make sure to update you with all the information. That way, if you're on the road or you just want to listen while you're working in the shed or wherever, you can stay up to date with us and all the other people that are sharing and contributing to this, because I think the viewers are just as much a part of this as we are.
Yeah, the viewers are hugely a part of this. That's why it's my favorite part. Yeah, I mean, really, it may sound corny, but it's like a big family or group of friends that we get to chat with. And I think that's why I like hearing from them so much. I love hearing their feedback. It's a community for us.
And their stories, and just there's a wealth of information out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And I found that out just by being at campgrounds, you know, as we stare like deer in the headlights at the tow hitch,
How do we
trying to
fix
figure
this?
it out. And that recognition from people next to us going, I've been there, I know that look, let me help you.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, if you see me in the campgrounds going,
that's a common occurrence.
come on over, lend a helping hand.
Okay, so another one, Kathy Vanderbilt commented on YouTube as well. She thinks podcasts are a terrific idea.
Yes.
Thanks for the explanation about the propane leak and detection. I've used gas grills for many years and have always used the soapy water test. So see, I didn't make it up.
Yeah, yeah,
Didn't
definitely.
make it up. This one I'm going to read. Now, it wasn't posted directly to us. It was on a Little Guy Max and Mini Max forum, I think on Facebook.
Yeah, it's
But
up.
I think it's very important,
Yeah.
and we wanted to pass it along.
Yeah.
So Chris Riley had posted a comment. Our brand new Max had the wheel fly off today on the expressway. Weren't even able to find it. This is our first trip. Please check that your lugs are properly tightened. We are in Mississippi and heading back to Michigan. Luckily, we found a great mechanic. Now, with the Little Guy Max, there has been an issue, and they have talked about and given directions on how to check your wheels and everything, and Russ will touch on that in a minute. But one of our viewers, Elizabeth Gallahan, had commented back, so this piggybacks on it, and we'll talk more about this in a second. I'm going to have mine checked and rechecked every time, but I don't want them to be over tightened either. I question what your strength has to be to do this. I'm not that strong. Someone needs to do a Liberty Outdoors support video on this very subject. Let us gals and guys know where we can buy the correct lug nut wrench. This should be a must priority with anyone who's selling these campers. It's a huge liability if someone gets hurt on the road.
Yeah, I agree. You know, anything that has to do with safety should come first. But Elizabeth, I'll guarantee you can do this. It's not very difficult. It doesn't take a whole lot of strength. I'm sorry I don't have it right now. I will put links in below to the actual torque wrench that we have and the torque and the socket that we have.
You know what we should do?
What's that?
We should make a video, and I haven't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we will do an instructional where Russ will guide me through doing it. I'm not that strong either. And then we can go through the process. We will show you the lug nut, wrench, or whatever all the other tools
Yep,
are.
the socket.
And we will get that done this week.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's important. And to have your wheel fly off has got to be a terrifying experience.
Man. No, thank you. And also to address another part of your question, Elizabeth, with a torque wrench, you can't over-tighten. And that's why they have it set that. One, you know you're tight enough. But two, you're not going to over-tighten. The one we have has an actual brake, like a click. So when you push down and you hit that 100 pounds of torque, it goes click, and you can't tighten anymore. So you definitely don't have to worry about that, and I know you've got the strength to do it. Carrie came up with a brilliant idea. We'll show you a video on how we do it. And just to touch back on the frequency, we do it every single time, we take the RV out. Now that doesn't mean every time we stop for gas we do it, but in the mornings before we go, we take it out. I take the torque wrench out, I check the air pressure, I check all the torque, and to be 100% honest, I've never had one of those bolts move a single bit except for one time, and that was when we had the trailer sitting in our driveway for about 4 to 5 weeks.
We've just incorporated in what we call our pre-flight checklist.
Yeah.
Is we get ready to hit the road. That's just something that we've incorporated every time we hitch up and go, so that we don't forget it. You know, so there aren't months that go by and, oh, did you do it that time, or that. It's just something that better be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
I agree. Very simple. We'll do a video and that will jump up to a priority 1 level. We'll get that video out here, like Carrie said, this week.
Okay.
Please give us more questions or comments. If you see we're doing something wrong, or maybe we gave some information that wasn't 100% correct, we're not the experts here. feel free to let us know about it. We always, the number one thing is we want to give the right information out to people, so let us know. We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
Check out our site, theroadsweroam.com. It's under development. I'm having fun creating it and working on it, but I'm trying to figure out what would be the best value for people that when they do come there, what they would like to see. So go to theroadsweroam.com and check it out and let me know what you would like to see on there.
Ooh, one more thing, I'm sorry.
We're not going to let you go today.
Carrie and I are bouncing around the idea of having a Friday night wine, which will be a live YouTube cast. Basically, let's recap the whole week. The really cool thing about that is you can interact with us through chat, so you can ask us questions. Carrie's going to be monitoring the questions or the comments and stuff, and we get to interact with each other
live.
Carrie will probably have a glass of wine. I'll have a beer or some Jack Daniels, and hopefully you'll have an adult beverage of your own, or you'll just sit back with a Coke and interact with us. And to piggyback on that, every Sunday we're going to be doing a coffee with Carrie and Russ. That also will be live. So if you don't want to stay up for Friday night,
because of the alliteration on that one, right?
Yeah, coffee with Russ and Carrie doesn't work as well as coffee with Carrie and Russ. But we'll do the same thing on Sunday. We'll do this Sunday mornings, and grab your hot beverage and sit back and let's just talk some story with each other.
That way we can hit the people that like to relax in the evening or the early risers.
That's right. We really hope you guys tune in for that. I think it'll be a blast.
Don't forget, we're also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, and we would love it if you would like and subscribe. So Definitely. That's all for today.
Bye. Bye.